Well, hello friends, and welcome back to the channel, or welcome if you're new here. I'm Christina. I know I rarely have my face on camera at this point, but here we are. So at the beginning of the year, I published a video that was going over the goals for the channel and that sort of thing, and I figured we might as well follow that up with like a mid-year check-in type of thing. First of all, this came from me slicing up onions last night. Don't worry, it's fine. You know, we just gotta roll with things for a few days. But yeah, we've had a lot going on in the past 6 months or so since that video came out. So first of all, we're gonna dive into the content part because more of this is kind of more on like the personal side of things that I've been up to the past 6 months. My videos have been a little bit longer to get released and filmed and all that stuff, right? So in terms of content, we're mainly going to be sticking with good old WWE 2K22. I've had a blast with it. It's been a good time. I've really enjoyed myself with it. And there's just so much more there's still so much more stuff to do. And with our new characters that we introduced this year, well, one kind of new, more like a revamped, like here's the 2K22 version of our girl, Christina Bennett. And then of course we have our brand new character, Ethan Quinn. So we're finishing up Ethan Quinn's little My Rise arc right now. I don't know when exactly that'll end, but like honestly, I don't see it lasting too much longer, but we'll have to see. But then we're mainly going to be in universe mode, I would say, for the most part. I know some people really like Sims content on this channel, so I was thinking maybe we go and do a quick little Let's Play or some videos on the new expansion pack that's coming out possibly, where it's like a high school expansion pack. It's called High School Years. And I'm actually really looking forward to it, and I don't know much about it. I haven't seen like anything on it, but I'm already looking forward to playing it. So let me know if that's something that you guys want me to cover on the channel, or if you just want me to just stick in my lane for right now and just focus on universe mode. Reaction videos, I do not have the time to actually film reaction videos. I will be straight up with y'all. It took so much out of me. It took just like my sleep was all messed up, like the mental health was starting to get to me too, because it's like you're on a schedule, right? But it's like with everything else that I have going on, right? Keep in mind, I'm also doing school and work and YouTube. That's a lot in and of itself. So I'd rather make sure that I'm producing what's hopefully quality content at this point. We're in the quality over quantity camp at this point. So that's where that's at. So yeah, personal life updates, that sort of thing. We've been making a lot of changes around here in this household over the past few months, I would say. I cut back on caffeine, which is pleasant, right? You know, because it was really starting to get to me. I was drinking like 4 or 5 cups of coffee a day. It was just messing up with my sleep, and it was really getting to my anxiety a lot, and that's just not a good combination. So needless to say, we had to cut back on coffee a little bit around here. Do I still drink my decaf? Absolutely. Do I still drink coffee? Yes, but I'm not drinking like 4 to 5 cups worth a day. It's more like, you know, maybe a couple cups a week at this point of regular caffeinated caffeine, and I'm really proud of that. So, you know, it's more of a harm reduction sort of thing, but I'm already sleeping much better. I'm not as like wired and jittery all the time, which is great, so there's that. And so another little update. So last year you might recall that I was talking about, you know, maybe losing weight, you know, to better my health and that sort of thing. Well, we have. So I went from around 170 last August, and right now in July of 2022, I am down to 142. So that's nice. I feel a massive difference. Just, you know, it doesn't hurt to sit. I don't have like weird aches and pains all the time, which is also a bonus. So yeah, I feel much more comfortable in my own skin, and you know what? We gotta do what's best for us and our health, right? Right. And so, you know what? That's a heck of an accomplishment, and I'll take it. I don't know how much more weight I'm gonna lose, but we're just kind of rolling with it at this point, because technically for my height, I should be somewhere between like 125 and 145. And I'm like, you know what, if we're within that range, that is fine by me. Because we still have room if we need to lose a little bit of weight, or if we want to gain some muscle, you know, those sorts of things. I've also, speaking of mental health, I have reduced my social media consumption in general. I might pop on a couple times a day, but I set limits on my phone to where it's like, all right, pal, you're not gonna go on here for like 20 times a day and endlessly scroll. And it has been a massive mood booster, morale booster around here. And it's made me think about social media like kind of more intentionally almost, right? So that's kind of, where things are going there. So if I'm not tweeting as often or on Instagram as often, that is why. And then lastly, we're graduating in December, finally. Look, if I really pushed it, I probably could have done it like in the summertime, but I'm like, we're gonna slow down a little bit and that sort of thing. So I have 5 more classes left. I'm taking 1 right now, and then I have 4 in the fall. So that's where we're going. So we graduate, I think it's December 17th, which is like right before Christmas, of course. So that's fantastic, just fantastic. And then of course with all these like personal changes and stuff, it's really made me reflect more on things that I want more long-term for once, right? Like everything's going pretty smooth, pretty good. And so that leads me to go into the next topic. So coming back to Ohio, I always kind of knew deep down that I was going to eventually leave it again because, well, I lived out of state for 2 years, as you all probably may or may not know. I actually started this channel when I was living down in Lexington, Kentucky, when I went to UK for my first master's degree. This channel really became a hobby and a creative outlet for me, and we've really created this awesome little community here, in our little internet island, so to speak, right? But basically, it's always kind of been in the cards to move out of Ohio again. I moved back up here because a lot of my family are up here and to kind of ride out the rest of the panorama, to say the least. But now it's just like, can I justify the cost of living in Ohio? Because we might have lower taxes on a lot of things, but in general, it's like, have you taken a look at apartment prices in like Columbus or nearby Columbus or Cincinnati or into Cleveland? It's insane. Some places are charging like Chicago level prices, and it's like in many parts of Ohio, we don't have like, adequate public transit, for example. So it's like you can't really, I'm finding it just harder and harder to justify being in Ohio, other than, well, it's affordable and I have family here. But it's like, I'm only 26. There's just so much more for me to do and experience, right? And so from my perspective, I've kind of outgrown Ohio in a way, and I'm up for this new little fresh little chapter. If anything, I'm more excited for it, to be honest, because I was nervous when I moved to Kentucky, but like something is kind of like, what, things aren't really going so good here in Ohio. We're gonna take our talents somewhere else. So that being said, while we're not moving this year, we may do it next year, but certainly by around 2024-ish, I would say. Because again, I am a household of 1. It's gonna take me some time to save up for an out-of-state move, and also to figure out where I wanna go, right? Because of course you wanna ideally visit the places that you're gonna be traveling to, or potentially moving to. And it's like, I'm seeing it more of as a long-term move this time around versus like, oh, I'm just gonna go here for a year or 2, right? Because like I'm 26, by the time that we get to the move, I'll be like 27 or 28. And I'm getting to that point where I feel more and more ready each year to potentially buy a house, for example. I don't wanna be tied down to Ohio. I'll be completely honest. It's just, I've really felt like I've outgrown Ohio, and it's like I'm just not thrilled with the direction things are going here. And so I feel like for me, there's gonna be more opportunities somewhere else, to be honest. And that's really what it boils down to. I'm looking out for myself and my future and things that I want, as kind of selfish as that sounds. But again, I am a household of 1. We can do it. It's gonna take us a little longer, but it's gonna be worth it. But for 2022, to start making the plans, I have made a spreadsheet for myself. I have narrowed it down to 5 states that I would totally, move to pretty much in a heartbeat. You can kind of see the list right here. And we've also got some runner-ups too, so I'll also include the runner-ups. The runner-ups are also kind of like backup options, in case of one of these top 5 kind of like, ooh, okay, we might want to avoid that place. Maybe one of these other 7 states can rise up, and there might be other states that we swap in and out. Again, we've got plenty of time. There's no pressure. But this year, to start working towards that goal, I've already been working on my savings. I've been paying down my student loan debt when I can, which of course is going to help out with the credit score and that debt to income ratio, because that's going to be important later on for the long-term goal of buying a house. And so because I'll be mainly in the research realm of things and looking up as much information as possible and, making all these different comparisons, looking up all the neighborhoods, that sort of thing, I figured, this year's going to be a time to really start to really narrow down the options, right? And just focus on, bettering financials. And I'm not in a bad financial situation by any means. We have somehow been able to live by ourselves for the last several years by this point. It's just a matter of, saving up and figuring out how to make an out-of-state move work. Right. But that's the plan. If possible, I would like to start planning some trips possibly for 2023. And hopefully next year we'll make a final decision. So that's where a lot of my time and energy has been just doing a lot of this research, with schoolwork, with work, a lot of the normal life things, right? But again, I'm very excited about it. I'm very excited for my future, and I'm excited to just take y'all on this crazy ride with me. We won't have weekly updates or anything like that, but every now and then I might, pop up and just give y'all a quick little update, that sort of thing. Sort of like how this mid-year check-in went. So I hope y'all are having a fantastic start to your week so far. I hope this wasn't too rambly, but I think, we had a lot of ground to cover, right? And by the way, I didn't just pick these states out of a hat. I kind of based it on some criteria here, and the criteria include affordability and opportunities/growth, jobs, houses, that sort of thing. Healthcare infrastructure, so internet, roads, public transit, and overall safety, because you gotta feel safe where you're at, right? But yeah, I hope everyone enjoyed this video. Hopefully I didn't talk your ears off that long, but I want to give everybody a quick little mid-year check-in sort of update thing. I really like this because it helps me hold myself a little bit more accountable, and it's just good to kind of check in with y'all, and it's been a while since my face has been on my YouTube channel. So there's that. Anyway, thank you all so much for all the love and support for the channel. I really appreciate it. It means the absolute world to me. And I say let's just keep growing and growing and growing. I don't know what else to really say, but thank you so much. It really, truly means the world to me. And I will see you all in the next one.